For Pacifica Radio, I'm Christina Onnested. Opening statements are expected to begin today in a voting machine company's defamation lawsuit against conservative network Fox News for airing false claims of voter fraud in the 2020 U.S. presidential election. Denver-based Dominion Voting Systems claims its business was devastated when Fox News and parent company Fox Corporation falsely implicated it in a made-up conspiracy to rig the election against Republican then-President Donald Trump. New York-based Fox says it was just reporting on the important news of Donald Trump's challenge to the election results, but the judge in the case ruled Fox went beyond reporting the news. In depositions leading up to the trial, several Fox News hosts admitted the election wasn't stolen, but peddled Trump's lies about voter fraud to listeners, misinforming them, to viewers, misinforming them, ultimately for ratings. Dominion is seeking $1.6 billion in damages. The case stands as a test to the extent of press freedoms. A Russian judge has ruled American journalists arrested on spying charges as part of a sweeping Kremlin crackdown on press freedom amidst the war in Ukraine will remain jailed. Evan Gershkovich and U.S. government vehemently deny the allegations. The Wall Street Journal reporter is the first U.S. correspondent since the Cold War to be detained on Russia on spying allegations. A judge with the Moscow City Court rejected Gershkovich's appeal of his detention today, ruling he must stay in jail until at least May 29th. Sudan's army and paramilitary have agreed to a 24-hour ceasefire starting tonight. The fighting since Saturday has plunged the country's capital of Khartoum and other areas of Sudan into chaos, killing at least 180 people and wounding some 1,800, according to the United Nations. The UN called for a ceasefire Monday. Stefan Dujarric is a spokesperson.
The pause would provide an opportunity to allow civilians trapped in conflict zones to access assistance and critical supplies, receive medical assistance, or just to get out safely. The Undersecretary General for Humanitarian Affairs, Martin Griffiths, said he's horrified by the death of humanitarian workers, including 3 World Food Program colleagues. He's also disturbed by reports of large-scale looting of aid and damage to humanitarian facilities. The hostilities will only hamper our humanitarian response efforts at a time when needs are at all-time high in Sudan.
Millions of Sudanese in the capital and other major cities have been hiding in their homes, caught in the crossfire as 2 forces that staged a coup 18 months ago battle for control. They agreed to transition the nation to democratic rule in December. The infighting threatens that pledge. In the U.S., a Missouri County prosecutor said an 85-year-old white man who shot a black teenager in the head after he approached the wrong house looking for his younger brother in Kansas City has been charged with first-degree assault. Clay County prosecuting attorney Zachary Thompson.
The defendant, Andrew D. Lester, is charged with the Class A felony of assault in the first degree. It carries with it a range of punishment of up to life.
Was there a racial component to this case, however?
As the prosecutor at Clay County, I can tell you there was a racial component to the case.
Shot 16-year-old Ralph Yarl twice. He's recovering at home after being released from the hospital Sunday. The shooting outraged many in Kansas City and across the country. Civic and political leaders demanded justice, and some, including lawyers for Yarl, pressed the racial dimension of the case. In Tennessee, the Poor People's Campaign rallied at the State House in support of gun control ahead of a planned vote on legislation to arm teachers with guns in the wake of a mass shooting at the Covenant School earlier this month. People carried caskets to symbolize the dead children gunned down. The bill's author motioned to table the legislation, potentially killing it. Fed up with repeated mass shootings, hundreds of people from around the country took part in a march in Washington, D.C. Monday to call for a federal ban on assault guns. Pass the ban! Pass the ban! The Save Our Students March was organized by March 4th, a nonpartisan group alternating between chants of Save Our Kids, Pass the Ban, and Do Your Job. About 1,000 people from across the country descended on the Capitol grounds. Military-style assault rifles are the weapon of choice in mass shootings. Marchers said if any other product were responsible for such needless loss of life, lawmakers would quickly pull it from the store shelves. They said the guns should be treated no differently. Guns are the leading cause of death in children in the U.S. And student assistants with the California State University system announced they've submitted cards to the state to form what they say would be the largest union of undergraduate student workers in the nation. The California State University Employee Union representing some 10,000 student assistants. I'm Christina Onnested reporting for Pacifica Radio.